Hello and welcome. Today's exciting episode is me beading the gingerbread jacket. And yeah, spoiler alert, it doesn't look like gingerbread house anymore. But I really love the way it's turning out. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
Now there are like 101 different, well, not exactly that many, but a lot of unfinished things on the rack that I probably should be trying to finish, but I'm into beading at the moment. So let's get out the gingerbread jacket and turn it into a gingerbread house. Oh, but first, I finally finished the green Italian tweed, which doesn't look like a green Italian tweed anymore. But I tend to call jackets by the tweed because that's what I look at when I do all the beading. So yeah, we'll just ignore all the half-done things over there at the moment. And let's focus on the gingerbread jacket. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end up looking like a gingerbread house. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah. Anyway, so let's decide what beads we're going to put on it. So last year's jacket, I put those red candy cane ones, so it looked like glassy cherries and peppermint candies. Here it is decorating the sideboard. So it very much looks like a gingerbread house, which is awesome, but it's also a problem because, I mean, you can wear it once. There's one part of the year where you can wear it. Otherwise, you just look like you're dressing up like a gingerbread house for no apparent reason. I do love the beading that I did on this, but as I said, I think it's not just the cropped nature and the massive sleeves that make it look like a gingerbread house. I think the festive season colouring sort of, make it, holidays only wear. So I think with this Chanel style tweed gingerbread jacket, I'm going to just go classic white and gold because they've got these little beads. They look like those metallic glass balls that you see on cupcakes, and I assume people use them on gingerbread houses too. So we're just going to go with the classic white and some gold, I think. I love it when gingerbread just has the white icing, but also I do have those gold beads, and I also have white beads with gold flecks in them. So yeah, and the actual tweed has flecks of gold in it. I'm not sure if it's picking it up, but when you wear it outside in natural light, it glints in the sun, so you can really see those gold flecks. So yeah, that's why. But now that I'm putting the beads on the tweed, so see how it's got those sort of window-shaped things in it. I was going to do, my dragonfly jacket that has like a bead in each little box. Well, I really should have a picture of the tweed beforehand. Hang on a sec, I'll go get some other footage. Here it is. So it's gorgeous tweed, and the print on it makes it really hard to see, but it's actually really thin strips of silk organza going warp and weft. So it creates these squares. So I beaded one bead in each of the squares, and that's how the dragonfly jacket turned out, and I really love that. So I was thinking with this gingerbread one, I'll do sort of the same thing, except where this one has squares, this one sort of has oblongs. Well, it has big squares with 4 little squares in it. So I could, but I think that would take a lot of beading to do. So these beads, now that I've got them out, are a little bit big, so I might save them for that other, speaking of silk organzas, that other silk organza, whatever it is. It's technically a jacquard, but it's 2 layers of silk organza with loads of metallic embroidery thread in between. It's very weird, but I like buying an experimental textile every now and again. Anyway, so I'm probably save those beads for that. So I just had these pink ones. I had to move them to get the other beads out. I do like them, I guess, but I don't know. This is so classic. I kind of want something really classic. And that reminded me of the beads the champagne beads that I'd set aside for the Egyptian tweed. I do love them together, but I don't know. I'm kind of worried that the champagne ones won't pop as much. They sort of blend into the gold. Whereas the teal beads, the teal and the gold ones sit out. So I think maybe I'll still use the teal and the gold on that, but maybe I'll borrow, take all the champagne ones and some of the gold ones and use them on this, because I love the idea of this being sugar art. You know how when you burn sugar slightly, it goes caramel. Or if you just do it a little bit, it's that blonde caramel, which sort of looks like these champagne beads. So technically, you're still in the realm of gingerbread house. Yeah, I like this idea. Maybe so the gold and the champagne, and I'm still kind of liking the idea of white as well. So this is all the Egyptian tweed ones. I'll pick out the teal ones and put them back. But yeah, I think these would go really well. But I do think I still like the idea of white ones as well. But then I also had these other large gold ones and these ones with all different colours in them. I bought 2 lots of them, so I've got 20, and they're just handmade beads. And they're just remarkable, but yeah, they're too big. Yeah, okay. Well, they're perfect colour, but too big. They've always been just slightly wrong. So this is me, like, you always get colourful little candies, so I thought maybe. And they do look cute, but it's not really what I want. It's totally cute, and I can see how it would work. But it's just not for me. I want something really... I think because I bought this tweed because it was from a Chanel collection that had a lot of Lesage beading on it. So for me, I just want to use expensive gold and white and champagne beads. It doesn't really make sense from the outside, but it makes sense to me. I usually buy... If I'm going to spend money on something, it's got to be worth it to me. And yeah, I just really love this idea. So these are the beads that I've picked. I sort of went and picked out all the smaller of the cream and white pearls. And I've got some tiny ivory coloured flowers as well in resin. I've got some clear glass with a little bit of an AB finish, which is a sort of, they look very bridal, as well as all the champagne glass beads in different shapes and sizes. And there's also some light caramel coloured pearls. I'm not using the teal ones. That jar is there just to pick them out and put them in that jar. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've done the front center panel on one side. I'm just showing you the back because some of you want to see how the stitching is done. So it's just the centuries old method of needle and thread actually stitching them in, and I leave the threads after I knot it. I don't cut down the thread. It makes it stronger if you leave the whole of the thread there, and it's going to be covered in silk anyway. So here we go. I've done several rows and I got a bit carried away. Instead of doing one in every 4 window shaped bit, or one in each oblong, I've done 4 in each of the 4 little squares. So there's an occasional bit of corn or a champagne cone shaped bead that takes up 2 little squares. But yeah, oopsie. Oh, I still haven't told you. I've got some footage about the green Italian tweed with all the red beads on it, so I'll show you that footage. But I think we'll I have to decide whether I like this or not. I mean, I like it, but I don't think it looks like a gingerbread house anymore. Does that matter? I don't know. I'm really enjoying doing this beading. It's incredibly difficult and detailed, and yeah, I think I'm going to keep going. I love those old-fashioned embroidery samplers where they just have loads of hundreds of different types of embroidery on the one big piece, and it's all random, but it's still, I don't know, it's beautiful. And this looks like a bead sampler to me. I love it. So I am going to keep going. On the bright side, I definitely have enough beads. I got way too enthusiastic when I made this bead mix, so there's a gazillion of them. but time I do not have. So we'll see how far I get. I'll do a little bit more and then I'll come back. Oh, I forgot to tell you about my glass bone. These are individually made beads. I bought them because I love those vases that are like this. They're individually, you know, how glasses are blown or handmade. And these are teensy tiny versions of those vases. I can't really afford the vases, but I can afford the beads. So yeah, I've divided them into the darker ones and the lighter ones. And you know how glass art, sugar art, they sort of make things like this. So I've got out the ones that look most gingerbread house-ish to me. I mean, they are absolutely gorgeous, but I don't think they're right for this, especially since the sort of squares and window frame square things in the pattern design of the tweed, I don't think they really go with these, but they are beautiful. I'm determined to use them on something, but I don't want to just like cram them onto something just for the sake of using them. I want to find the perfect tweed to use them on. And I love these beads, but I don't think this is it. So I'll pop them away again, but I just thought I'd show you them because they're the most beautiful beads. I don't get them out too often. I'm kind of afraid that I'll break them or something. So they're just carefully stacked away. But yeah, anyway, I did more work on the jacket. I just did a couple more rows on the front here, and then I did some work on the other side on the hip. Just that's just coming over from the front. I was working on the back, and here we go. Aren't they beautiful? So this is what it looks like from far away. It doesn't really make sense until you do all of it. It's like colouring in, basically. I think that's why I like beading so much. It's basically just me doing colouring in. But I'm concerned that they're all so small, mostly because it's going to take me a million years to finish this. So yeah, if I'm treating it as a sampler, then traditionally when you do a sampler, there is a uniform grid. But there's also some that are different, stand out from that grid. It does concern me that I've already done the centre front part of the other side, so that won't have any bigger beads in it. But if I'll work on it with some big beads in it from now, and then maybe if it doesn't look right once it's finished, I'll carefully cut out some sections and add in a bigger bead. But that's really complicated. When you take off a bead, you obviously leave two sets of loose threads, the bit at the top and the bit of the bottom after you remove a bead, and then you have to tie them off, and then you have to add the new bead in a way that doesn't lessen the strength of the overall work. So it's really, really, really complicated. Plus, I mean, you're cutting into a beaded tweed, so tweed's expensive, beads are expensive. It's something you don't want to do. Speaking of, so I'm going to go do that, but I'm going to show you the green Italian tweed jacket, which had red beads on it. Then I took them off and I re-beaded it. So you can have a look at that footage. It's not much footage, but yeah. And I will do all this work. So there's a separate whole video on me making this green Italian tweed into a jacket, and I started beading it vertically in line with those fluoro red strips, and that's the dragonfly jacket in the background. These are the beads I used, but I didn't like it, so I took all the beads off and sorted them out, and then I started beading it again, and that was in the last sewing vlog that I did, so I'll maybe put a card up to that. And I think I ended that one here because I didn't have time to finish it. So instead of the beads being vertical in vertical lines, this way they're horizontal, covering up all the cream bits, because the creamy oatmeal were the bits that I didn't like. And yeah, so I've done the torso of the jacket at this point, and I'm working on one sleeve and starting on the next. So, and I'm really liking it. It's very different. I feel like I use too many transparent beads and not enough like solid beads. but I mean, I've got lots of transparent beads and it's taking a lot of beads. So I had to scrounge around and find more. And I found these pearls, the red pearls, and I think they work really well. I should have used them from the start so they're in the whole of the jacket. But I mean, you know, I am definitely not unpicking this jacket again. I've already unpicked the whole thing once. And even though a lot of them are transparent, there's still an amazing difference between the plain tweed and the beaded tweed. Like, you can barely see any of the cream anymore. And I'm not mad about that. There's more of a glow. The greens, oh yeah, I finished it at night. Don't worry, I've got actual footage, but this is me taking footage for myself because I was so excited that it was done. So here we go. Here's the finished jacket. And the more I look at it, the more I like it. As I started to say, the greens in there really glow. Green, teal, and aqua. They sort of combine and make this beautiful, sort of glowing, bright green. It's lovely. And it's just, yeah. If you look at it from far away, you're like, oh, whatever. But the closer you look at it and the more detail you see, it's gorgeous. And this is me getting distracted again by the dragonfly jacket. Yeah, I don't know why it's the green Italian tweed, because for the longest time it didn't have beading at all. So it was the green Italian tweed. But yeah, I'm not sure that the little bits of fruit suit it because they're so frivolous, and I'm really... One of the most common things people say about me is I'm too serious. So, yeah, I don't know. I like them. I think they're well suited. But I guess they're maybe a little jarring. And yeah, if I had my time again, I would put some more pearls in there. I have these tiny red solid glass like not transparent seed beads in there in red, and I'm thinking maybe I'll add some more, but it already has so much weight as a jacket. So this bit at the bottom of the front here, see how the other side has beads right along the bottom? This side doesn't. I think I might add like 10-12 beads there just to even them up, just because visually you see the sparkling of the beads on one side and you don't see them on the other, and it's kind of, I don't know, it really concerned me once I'd finished the jacket, but now it's really not. I'm kind of over this jacket. I invested so much time and effort in it already, but I don't know. I'll leave it on that mannequin just for a little bit longer and see how much I care about it. But I'm quite liking it the way it is at the moment, so we shall see. Oh, those are the little glass beads. So, yeah, I just thought I'd put them under some of the transparent ones where the sort of oatmeal colour is popping out. I don't know. Anyway, I am going to leave you now and do some more beading, and hopefully I'll have done some more so I can show you a bit more footage of what used to be the gingerbread jacket before the end of this video. Well, by now you've probably seen quite a few other videos, because I decided to just keep going on this jacket. I hate finishing a beading jacket video before the actual jacket is finished, because I know December is Vlogmas, and so I added some of those big ones, and it does look like a bead sampler, an embroidery sampler. It's just amazing. Or, the Lego brick sets, and they have the picture and it says you get 4 of these bricks, you get 3 of these bricks. Now I want to make a different jacket and just have, like, instead of all the corn beads dotted in different spots around, I want to have like 10 corn beads lined up and then 5 heart beads lined up, that sort of thing. It's going to be really tricky because the jacket is on my workbench at the moment. The sun was just going through these transparent beads so beautifully. I don't think the footage really captures it, but it just looks like it was glowing. It's absolutely gorgeous. In real life, it's just so beautiful. And also the colours of the silk in the other dragonfly jacket were just amazing. So I just left them on the mannequins and I left the gingerbread jacket on my bench, and I just continued beading.
I mean, you're going to see it in a second with other footage. And here it is. I spent all last night beading, and this is all I've done. One side, not even. Like, there's a bit under the arm that isn't done. And yeah, I clearly need to tidy the entire area as well. But yeah, it is just so beautiful. And half of December is done with now. So I'm deciding what jackets, because basically I do more videos for the first half of Vlogmas than I do for a normal month. So I'm treating the second half of December as a whole separate month. So I'll finally get to the metallics. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to using the golds. I was a bit reticent, but this jacket is just, I love the way it is turning out. I posted a work in progress bit of footage on my reels. What's the YouTube shorts? And people said, oh, don't do any more beading when it had less beads on it than this, or, only do half, or only do the front, or you can't actually. I do work that I want to be of museum quality. So you have to have the same weight on the left side as the right side, and you have to have the same amount of weight on the front as the back, so that, because museums don't buy anything if it has to have lasted, it has to last at least 25 years. And if it's going to last twice as long as that, then it's considered a good investment. So yeah, when I'm working on my designs, I think about longevity really and how it's going to age. But when you're looking at this jacket, I always talk about how beads make a jacket sit better. Like, I have an extra really strong structural layer, really robust, because I knew I was going to put heavy beads on it. So it's, the left side of your screen is slightly exaggerated on what a jacket normally looks like. But you can see what I mean when I say that beads make the jacket fit better. I mean, look at the shoulders, they're beautiful. Look at the hips. It just makes a jacket look so beautiful on the body. Plus, I love the beads, and if I saw this in a museum, I would be like, what was this design? What is it about? Like, it kind of looks like hieroglyphics, because I made this bead mix specifically for an Egyptian tweed. So it does have that in it, like with the corn and things like that. But it also looks like an embroidery sampler. So yeah. I always get people saying I wouldn't put any beads on it. I just have a tweed jacket, and I do love tweed jackets. And if I only had one or two jackets, then I would probably just still like plain tweed ones. But now that I'm 100 jackets into my collection, I'm getting a lot more experimental. So I've still got quite enough beads to do the other side, so that's not a problem. But I've run out of small cream and white ones, so I have to go scrounging around in my bead collection for more of them. And I also have to rethread all the sewing needles. So I am going to do that, and I probably won't be back until I've finished, or I don't know. This is taking so long because there are just thousands upon thousands of beads in this, but oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I am so inspired to do like one of those Lego brick ones now. As I'm beading this, I'm thinking, like, going through all my tweeds in my head, trying to work out which ones have squares in them so I can do them next. So awesome. But obviously you'll see the jackets, but I'm just like mentally lining up all the beading that I'm going to do next. This is so cool, but so much work. Ugh, okay, I have to go back to my beading. Okay, I just watched back that bit. See how they're uneven at the bottom? I've obviously pinned up the side with the beading so you can see what it's going to look like finished. I didn't leave the hem hanging down. That's why both sides are uneven. So anyway, this is the bit that I just finished doing. I'm so tired, but I was like, I just got to add this bit to the video. So here we are. I've been working on the back, and I've sort of done a bit more on the front that wasn't done, and I've pinned up the bottom now too, so that's why I'm doing the beading in an unusual way. I wanted to pin up the bottom And there's puppy dogs in here. I wasn't sure whether I was going to use them, but I've sort of got them in Sphinx ways. So one's looking out one way and the other one's looking out the other way. And I've got a couple of different sets going right up the back to the shoulder blades. I like them. I'm going to keep them. I sort of did it so that they would be easy to cut out if I had to, but yeah, my beads are a mess. I have to clean them up. I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning. But for tonight, it's time to have a little sleepy bye-byes. Oh, this jacket is so much work. But I just realised, I remembered as soon as I edited the last bit and went back to beading, I was like, actually, I have real Lego bricks. So I'm definitely going to make a Lego jacket. Well, I've got, all the Christmas stuff to do first. And then I've got Desperately Seeking Susan next month. I don't know. I will find time to do a Lego brick jacket at some point. Good night. Well, I had to work all day today, so this kind of looks like the periodic table, doesn't it? So many ideas for other jackets. Anyway, so I haven't completely finished it. There's still one full arm to go of beading. There's 2 sections on the back that haven't been done, and there's a bit on the underside of the other sleeve. But apart from, and there's 2 beads missing from one of the front sections as well. So yeah, really not finished. But you do get a very, very, very good idea of what it's going to look like. And I've got enough beads to finish it. I just don't have the time at the moment. And I love the shape of it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Also, sorry about the background. Didn't have time to clean that either. So I had to get the beads across the shoulder blades correct so that it wouldn't sort of stab you when you put the jacket on and off. So now I'm just filling in above the shoulder blades and below it. So the bit around the waist and the sort of hip area is done too. So those are the bits that it's really, really important that they sit right. So, and because I had a limited number of beads, because I'm kind of just using up what I have, I had to make sure that the important areas had the right kind of beads in, and now I can use all the other beads to fill it in. And these are just some of the bigger beads that I used. I love those ones that look like brass buttons, and also this round one with the crystal cut. Oh, so pretty. And the glass ones with the little flecks of all different colours in there. There's 2 square ones, one at the top, one at the bottom. And these heart-shaped ones, I think I told you at the start of the episode that there were 20 of them. I've used 2 of them, one at the top there and one at the bottom. They are just so beautiful. And yeah, it's just, it is a weird mix, I guess, but I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's so heavy, but in a good way. It's a really good weight, and because I have such a sturdy structural layer, it's carrying the weight really, really well. So yeah, I'm happy with the technique, and I think on the side that is on the right of the screen, so the left front of the jacket, I do wish I'd had a little more weight in the front at the bottom front corner of that one. So I've just got the hem pinned up at the moment with pins, so I'll wait until after I've hand stitched it down, and the cuffs as well. And if it still looks like it's a bit light, like not heavy enough compared to the other side, then I will put a couple more glass beads on there. But yeah, I'm not sure. You really need to hand stitch everything down, because sometimes it's just the beads, because you have to sort of stick them into the tweed, then stick it out again just to make everything sit up right. So it might just be that. We shall see. But yeah, I love it. I absolutely love this. So thank you very much for watching. That's it, I'm afraid. I really do not have time to finish. I've got to do all the other videos for the second half of this month. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope you've been inspired to bead something, because beading is awesome. And yeah, or make some gingerbread cookies in a gingerbread house. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and happy sewing.